Alright, people. So Riot released a Riot Please insert some 3 days ago. What is it today? 19th of August, 3 days ago. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna just respond to this because I've been experiencing a lot of people in the League community who seem to think that the game is in a bad spot right now. Like, no. No, that was last season. Season 7, that was the worst spot for the game. Current season, this is the best balanced situation the game has ever been in, but okay. People don't want to see it, let's go through it.
Hey everyone, Joe here again on behalf of the League dev team. A lot has happened since the last Riot Please, so today I want to get straight into it and talk about the state of the game. We know there's been a lot of change over the last few months, from the jungle changes to how much carry potential and
By the way, for anyone who's still ignorant to this, the jungle changes have been brilliant, okay? The scuttle changes that they made, where they now have to be contested, and then they balanced out however much XP they give, it's brilliant. If you can't see it, well, you probably don't like the game anyway, so, just get to stepping. Just go on, move along, let's carry on.
individual player has, to the big shakeup in bot lane. From some of you, we've heard excitement about how fresh the game feels and how much more open the champion pool is now.
You see, those people, all of those people that he's referring to, those are all League of Legends veterans, okay? These are all people who have played over 4 seasons, I'm counting for over 4 seasons of League of Legends. They've probably got a champion pool that's at least 12 champions deep, if you were to take their champion pool to its limits. Whatever, nigga. If you want to take the champion pool of a veteran player to its limits, they can probably play 30 champions, right? Pretty comfortably. And there's probably 10 other champions they don't know about that they can play pretty comfortably. I'm talking players who are, we're not talking Diamond Plus, although Diamond players probably have a smaller champion pool, but we're not talking Master, ELO, or Challenger where these guys can pretty much pick up anything and play it. No, we're talking about the general population of League of Legends. So that's Platinum and below, all of you guys, yes.
But from many others, we've heard that the rate of change has felt overwhelming, and we've also heard your specific concerns about individual changes.
You see, everyone who's found the changes to be overwhelming, quote unquote, overwhelming, those are all people who have grown into the game with role select being there. So they've never actually had to learn the full game League of Legends. They've just had to learn a fifth of the game, or 2/5 of the game, right? Because they only have to learn these 1 or 2 roles, and they're really bad when you take them out of those 1 or 2 roles, because they don't actually know how to play the game. They don't know how to play these 1 or 2 roles, so obviously they're going to be overwhelmed when all these changes come through and the meta shifts in a dramatic fashion. Of course, the meta shifted for the better, much better meta, okay? This isn't to say that the meta this season, Season 8, wasn't already good after preseason. But what Riot said right after preseason, when they laid out their roadmap, they said they wanted to open up the bottom lane to other champions, and they did that, okay? Now, obviously, in the process of doing that, this jarred a lot of people because, I don't know how to play against this champion that never plays on my lane. Like, dude, no. No. And what I don't want happening is I don't want the developers to now cave to these people who one, fought for role select, and 2, didn't understand the implications of what role select would bring in. Okay? Let's carry on with the video.
First of all, I want to let you guys know that for the rest of the year, we intend to let things settle and make fewer large changes.
That's literally every year aside from the Juggernaut patch. Okay? Now people are going, oh my god, they're not making changes. No, they do that every fucking year. Okay? Every fucking year, mid-season, this huge update, and then after that they just let it settle and they balance shit out for Worlds. The only seasons they didn't do that Well, there were two seasons. There was the Juggernaut patch season and the season just before that. They also changed the balance before Worlds, but it wasn't as extreme as the Juggernaut. Those were just number changes that they did in that season. But the Juggernaut patch and that Juggernaut Worlds, that was huge, and they've opted not to do that again ever since they did that. What season was that? Season 6? Or some shit? Regardless, this is the same thing they do every fucking year, okay? So, if there's any people who are upset about it, I mean, man, can't y'all just go fucking buy a hooker or some shit? Have some sex, make yourself happy. Seriously. Anyway.
I also want to talk through the major changes one by one, so you know where we stand on things. First of all, are we happy with how the jungle changes have landed? Overall, we are happy with these changes.
Let me just pause him right there. Yes, we're very fucking happy with the jungle changes. And he's gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna fucking explain what he's saying to all of y'all who've either forgotten what the fuck last season was, or who really just don't know what the fuck they want. So I'm explaining this to both of y'all people, as we go through this.
Our primary goal here was to reduce how often early lanes were decided by junglers.
You hear that? Let me run that back. Let me run that back by people.
These changes. Our primary goal here was to reduce how often early lanes were decided by junglers.
You hear that? That was the entirety of Season 7. Do you want to know why people aren't complaining about Graves right now? Because he doesn't decide the fucking game. Okay? Season 7 was so meta locked, okay? And everyone's forgotten this, or maybe they're all just meta humpers, so they never fucking knew this anyway, right? You couldn't play, if you weren't playing teleport in top lane, you were going to drop at least 2 standard deviations down from whatever your actual rank is, okay? So I rank platinum, and season 7, I dropped down to silver because I refuse to play with teleport in top lane. I don't like playing with fucking teleport. If you didn't play with teleport, you lost. Okay? It doesn't matter if you were better than your opponent or whatever, you just lost. Straight up. And why would you lose? Well, because enemy jungler would come in, make your life difficult, and Season 7 was a season where if you're in a solo lane especially, you are beholden to your jungler, okay? And if you're against Graves, you're beholden to Graves because he fucking runs the game in Season 7, okay? People have forgotten this. They forgot how frustrating it was where you fucking go into lane and you have to deal with a level 2 gank and you die there and pretty much the game's over. That's it, game's over. That doesn't happen this season. People are gonna claim it happens this season. I don't know what fucking ELO they are. What ELO are these people? You know what, let's just take the mean. They're silver, okay? So you're taking complaints from silver fucking rated players. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this shit.
Already there.
Stonewall, I love Stonewall, but we're not here to talk about Stonewall. Okay? Plus, Stonewall is wrong on this video. I haven't rated it, whatever. So, here's a slice of the League community, okay? This is a slice of the League community. I am platinum rated, okay? If anyone don't believe that, just go search my fucking profile on op.gg, preternatural. You'll find it. How do you spell preternatural? I fucking ask Google, dude. It's the same shit. These guys. Okay. Here's me responding to these. Let's just go through this shit. You are R word, okay? This guy's a teenager. He's not even out of fucking school yet. Whoops.
Already there.
Shit. This guy's a teenager, right? He's not even out of school yet. You are R word. I don't know what the fuck that means. Is he trying to say I'm racist because I said this? Nigga's crazy. Takahashi Nani, whatever. He's got a fucking anime name, okay? That's all you need to know. He's a fucking otaku. It's because matches are coin flips, okay? So, get this. This guy is saying a negative of the game is that a match is 50-50 when you load in. Okay, now there's some people that might disagree with that, but I'm just going to tackle this guy. He's saying a 50-50 match is a bad thing. Okay, let's continue. If you lose early, there is no late game to come back with. Is he sure about this? Is he sure about this? There are a lot of games that I've played very recently where I've won early game very hard, and you can find this on YouTube itself, right? You can find a lot of streamers, a lot of content creators who are high ranking ones, okay? So they're showing you everything about the game, right? Through their play. They're showing you fucking everything. And these guys can dominate early game and they lose the game anyway once it gets to late game. So immediately, this cunt is wrong. If you lose early game, there is no late game to come back with. He's incorrect. He's incorrect. If this was season 7, then no, season 7 was all about late game. But regardless, there is no late game to come back with. No, you're wrong on that. Okay, games turn too fucking often in current meta. Gold swings occur all the fucking time, and the game is facilitated. No, the game is built to facilitate all of that shit. Okay. The minions give you more fucking gold, okay? These are the key minions. Like, super minions give you so much fucking gold. You can catch right the fuck... You can catch up 4 levels, okay? In 3 minutes farming super minions. Like, I don't understand how this guy says there is no late game, right? If you win early, the enemy surrender by 15 to 25 minutes. Never happens. Never happens. This tells me what fucking ELO he's in, right? He's in bronze. This guy's bronze. This surely only happens in bronze, or maybe fucking silver, low gold. It happens around there. Or get their next blown up. Okay, get their nexus blown up by the time the next surrender vote shows up. Like this dude. This dude is complaining about just the general psychology of teams, right? Like there have been games where I know the game is over and I'm trying to FF the game and my team refuses to play the game and my team refuses to FF the game. So I have to play out the game and I play hard. Even if I want to FF, I'm going to play hard. And sometimes we turn it around, sometimes we don't. But this guy's saying, "Oh, the Nexus gets blown up by the time the next render vote." What the fuck is he stating? What the fuck is he stating? What does he want? A surrender vote to be enabled every minute or something? That's probably what he wants. You know what? But who does that help? No, I'm getting off topic here. It is not even fun to win anymore as you have to obey the meta. No, that was season 7. Okay? You see this type of idiot? Season 7 was that meta. If you wanted to quit the game, you should have done it last season. We're in season 8 right now. They added damage because season 7 there wasn't enough damage. Tanks were ruling the top lane, okay? Even if you took ignite, you couldn't kill a tank because, hey, you don't have enough damage anyway. So they added more damage. The meta pretty much broke the fuck down. You can play whatever the fuck you want, wherever the fuck you want, okay? You can say goodbye to your fun. And if it's not your meta, you can say goodbye to your fun. No, that was last season. This guy is complaining about season 7. He's not talking about the current season. He's not talking about season 8. You don't know what he's talking about. This dude is talking about season 7 where Graves would walk into your lane with red buff, auto attack you 3 times, Q you with 1 proc of his Q, and you're dead. That was season 7. Also, you had to take ignite as top lane. You pretty much had to play... Mid lane was meta locked, so if you weren't playing a meta champion, you weren't playing anything. Bottom lane... How was bottom lane in season 7? Bottom lane was fair. I refused to play bottom lane because I didn't want to play Janna, because I became a very obnoxious Janna main who would spam my who would spam my Mastery 7 all over the enemy team when they couldn't kill my allies. But anyway. So this guy, he's talking about season 7, we're in season 8, all these problems have been fixed, and it's literally, the pendulum has swung completely the opposite direction. Cheese strategies and builds are harder to pull off more than ever. Like, how can he say this? You see, how can you say this when we've just experienced a quarter of the season being gold funnel related? Like, you had to gold funnel in high elo, right? And the gold funneling was getting everywhere. So this is a cheese strat that got picked up by the pros. Okay, first it got picked up by Koreans, Korean boosters. You know, all these guys that are ELO boosting in Korea. First they did that. Or was it Chinese? Anyway, they're doing it on the Korean server anyway. And then I don't get this, man. Cheese strategies and builds are harder to pull off more than ever. No. This is just completely false. This is just completely false. We've had gold funnel Carthus with Predator. Like, that's been a thing. You know? There are crazy cheese strats being pulled off right now. Crazy. Even, you can have fucking... Vlad was open for the bottom lane at some point earlier this season. You know, he would kill your ADC at level fucking 2 with the fucking empowered Q. And this nigga just, he forgets it. Hey, I'm calling him a nigga. I see he's an otaku, Takahashi, what the fuck is that? What a question? He asking me a question. I don't even know what the fuck question he asking. It's like he's swearing at my mom. I'm gonna fuck him up. Anyway, I only play with 4 to 5 players with friends, so pulling them off should be easier than a solo duo. No. No, sir. You're fucking wrong. You have to educate yourself on how the fucking game works. When you duo, okay, you get matched against harder opponents because you have a communication advantage that the other team won't have. Or you'll just get matched up against another duo, and you know what? They're probably fucking better than you. End off. If you queue up with 4 people or 5 people, right? If you're queuing up with 4 or 5 people, like, do you know how difficult the games you get put into are? You're not gonna pull off a cheese build there. You're queuing up with 5 people. You should be serious about playing the game if you're doing that. You are not gonna do any cheese builds there. And it baffles me how people don't get this. We're in season 8. Okay? We're in season 8. They've been saying from the jump, if you're a duo in ranked or draft or whatever, or blind pick or whatever, you're gonna get matched up against higher ranking opponents because you've got an advantage that the other team doesn't have. This dude doesn't get it. I'ma write him off as an idiot. League has just turned into a adapts to meta or lose game. No, sir. That was season 7. I've been an Echo Top player since Echo's come out. I got to Platinum playing Echo Top, and season 7 I dropped down to Silver because you couldn't take Ignite top lane. Okay? Now, Rito opened that up. They nerfed Teleport, they buffed Ignite. You can take anything top lane again. I saw a fucking Gangplank with heal today. You know? So you can take anything. The meta is completely opened up. There is no adaptation required unless you're one of these what is this? Unless you're one of these noobs who argued for role select without knowing what role select would bring. And I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that at the end of the video. Don't you worry. I'm gonna get there. League has just turned into a adapt to meta or lose game where everything else is so equally mediocre it's no use doing it. Yeah. It's not the case at all right now, unfortunately. Everything else is so equally mediocre. No. That doesn't work. It's like this guy doesn't understand any of the resources that are available for League of Legends. You can just as easily, no, it's not even just as easily. Just go search for a tier list, okay? Why do the tier lists exist? You can't say, oh, everything is equally mediocre. No, dude. There's tier lists for a reason. There's specific things that are really strong due to their numbers being out of whack or some item being added. That's the only reason things get to S tier, okay? And things being mediocre, I have to say it. This season, there are no mediocre champions. Every champion will surprise you this season, okay? Every single champion, even like Karma with the lowest fucking win rate in the game right now. I think she got the lowest win rate. One of the lowest win rates. She'll fucking surprise you. Nunu pre-rework. Bloody English. Nunu pre-rework. That fucking champion will still surprise you. You know? So this guy's saying everything is equally mediocre? No. No, it doesn't fly. Okay. I might play it with friends from time to time, but the competitive aspect is no fun when my favorite strategies and champions are garbage over 6 months until they are broken again and banned to oblivion. This is a meta humper. Okay? This guy's a meta humper. He doesn't understand that his champions are strong already. You can play anything. The game opened up in such a huge way after the mid-season this year. You can play anything, anywhere. You could pick top lane John and no one would bat an eye. I'm pretty sure no one would bat a fucking eye if you did that. Like, I played a mid lane Sona. When was this? Maybe 3 weeks ago or something. No one batted an eye. There is no meta. No one cares about any of this shit. If you care about this shit, then you're an idiot. And these other guys, Mojo Meister. You know, let's get back to the video. So, the video here. This guy was talking about how last season the jungle was highly oppressive to laners. And he's right, it was highly oppressive. And he should know he's at right. Let's continue.
Based on early gold, XP, and kill participation trends,
Hold on. Let's skip back just a little so everyone has context.
happy with these changes. Our primary goal here was to reduce how often early lanes were decided by junglers.
God bless.
Based on early gold, XP, and kill participation trends, we do think we achieved this goal. As a secondary benefit, these changes helped drive more interaction between junglers and created room for more early game lane action overall. We also believe the Scuttle Crab objective is in a good spot. Important enough to demand attention, but not so valuable it deterministically snowballs one side.
You see? That is exactly what the Scuttlebug changes have been. Exactly. That is verbatim what the Scuttlebug changes have been this season. This mid-season, at least. And it's been brilliant. It shifted the game for the better. Tank junglers are going to get a buff next patch. We'll see how they do. They probably get overbuffed. Always happens. I don't really care because, hey, I get to play Sejuani again. That's fun. So, anyway. Yeah, the Scuttle changes have been great. Like, there's people complaining. I'm seeing jungle players complaining. Like, dude, I started playing some jungle recently. It's so much fucking fun, okay? It's so much fucking fun. But anyway, let's continue with the video.
As of now, we have no additional big changes planned for the jungle this season.
Literally every year, it's the same shit. I wonder what they'll change in the jungle next season. We'll get there. But every year they might change something mid-season, pre-season, then they're not going to change the jungle at all after that. This was a very minor change to the jungle. People act like it's this huge, overbearing change. No. Y'all are just fucking locked into your role selecting, don't know how to fucking play the game.
How about the state of individual carry potential and overall game pace? Toward the end of last year, we started hearing more and more feedback from you guys that, over time, solo carry potential had been nerfed too hard. After looking into it, we agreed individual agency was too low, and in March made changes to tower and shutdown bounty gold.
Okay. I just want to get in on this one. So, carry potential was nerfed over the years because people really didn't like getting dominated by better players. And the community pushed for this, right? The community fucking pushed for this. It's the most baffling fucking developments I've ever seen. First, people complained there's too much damage. Okay. And then they said good players can carry too hard, right? Now, how did they complain about this? Oh, snowball. This guy snowballs on one of my teammates, and then I can't do anything. Yeah, you can't do anything because he's fucking better than you, okay? But that got nerfed. It's pretty hard. You have to be pretty fucking good to carry now. Like, I climbed up from silver this season to platinum. Silver was pretty stock standard. I could carry really hard. Gold, I could carry really hard until I got to gold 1, right? But it was like halfway up through gold 1. Gold 1, 50 LP. Okay? Then, because I was getting closer and closer to skill level of because I was getting closer and closer to my peak ELO, right? It would become harder to carry simply by the fact that I'm playing against better players. They're not gonna get caught out like these silver scrubs and shit, right? Seriously, it just is what it is. They're not gonna get caught out the way a silver player gets caught out. The platinum player is not gonna do that. A gold player is not gonna do that. Well, a gold player might do it on a bad day, but we'll get to that. So basically, community complained, oh, there's too much damage, people carry too hard, my teammates suck. Okay, right, nerfed it so that you have to carry as a team. Now people are complaining that, oh, I don't like my team, I want to carry alone. So we're just going to go back and forth on this over the years, basically. The goal changes that Ritsu made, they were decent. They were decent. I shouldn't say decent, they were very fucking decent. Okay, those bounty changes that Riot made, and also the cannon creeps, giving as much gold as they do. Brilliant changes. Both of them have been brilliant. You now have to be good in lane, okay, to get advantages. And if you get ahead, now there's less incentive to get ahead now. But it's not as lowly incentivized as Season 7, but just in general there's less incentive. What they did this season was they added damage, so if you do get ahead, you can kill your opponent because you now have the damage to do so. Season 7, if you got ahead, you weren't killing anybody, especially if they built resistances. That was a farm lane, okay? If you're an 80 top and you saw a cloth armor, lane's over. If you're an AP top and you saw a null magic mantle, lane was over, okay? That was a farming lane. If you didn't obey that rule, then you lost. But okay, they changed shit, and now people are complaining again, even though the changes were good. Let's move on.
In response, these changes accomplished our goal of increasing individual agency.
The changes accomplished. How do I say this? Right guy here is incorrect. The changes made the lane skill based again, right? Because Season 7 it wasn't about skill. It was not about skill. That was just about how patient you were when waiting for your jungler. That was Season 7. This season, the lane is dictated by skill, okay? If you are the better player in lane, even if you get ganked, you'll probably still be able to, no, I shouldn't say probably, you will definitely still be able to kill your lane opponent. Why? Because now you actually have damage to do so, okay? You actually have damage to do so. If you do kill your lane opponent, you're going to get rewarded for doing so, so you actually want to do it. So you're going to see people taking aggressive summoners, maybe an ignite, maybe an exhaust or something, instead of just a general TP. I'm talking top lane now, right? But even in mid lane, you had people taking fucking teleport throughout Season 7. So, you have to de-incentivize the utility summoners, right? But the only way to do that is by making killing people actually a viable thing. So, the League community just constantly complains one way or the other, and eventually all that's going to happen is, you know, you're either going to leave the game or you're going to keep playing. Because the game's always the same fucking game, right? The fundamentals don't change. You farm the same way, you right-click the same way, you cast spells the same way. The fundamentals don't change. Like, vision works the fucking same, fundamentally. So the fundamentals of the game don't change. The champions change, whatever. No one cares if there's a new champion added. I don't fucking care anymore. There's some interesting things that get added here and there, but generally, because I'm so satisfied with Irelia and Echo and shit, I generally don't give a fuck about what new shit there is. Yeah, lost my thought there. Let's go on.
At the same time, the rate of snowballing had increased, and so we've needed to dial that back over time. We've made further changes to the bounty system.
The rate of snowballing increased. It was possible to snowball really hard in the first half of this season. It's not so easy to do so after mid-season. But he's saying that's what they did, right? And that's probably intent. That's probably what what the people were asking for. So fine, everyone got what they wanted, and everyone's still complaining. You know, this is the league community, man. And then people wonder why, like, observers say the league community is toxic or whatever. Like, these niggas just don't like themselves, right? Does good changes for them, and then they say, I hate them. That's the league community.
Reduce gold from early towers, and lengthen the Baron encounter to give more opportunities to contest. Since 8.14, the rate of snowballing has improved significantly, and we'll be monitoring this to make sure it remains in a good spot.
I would rather they have kept um, whatever the state of gold was before the mid-season patch, but yeah, we are where we are, and there are more positives to take out of the mid-season change than negatives. But of course, the league community doesn't get that, so everyone's just complaining to complain because oh, it's not season 3, even though it's better than season 3. Like, niggas, please. Niggas, just fucking please. Anyway.
One thing we weren't excited to see was how prevalent gold funneling as a strategy became, especially.
You see? Do you hear that? That is the cheese. The non-existent cheese this guy was talking about became prevalent in pro play. This is LCS. It's NA LCS. So you know they're the last fucking adapters, okay? This was already happening in China. This was already happening in Korea. It was probably happening in Brazil. It was definitely happening in the EU West. So NA is doing the gold funnel, okay? And you've got the league community saying there are no cheese strats that are viable. My nigga, please. My nigga, please. Miss me with this really poor analysis. Especially this part. Oh, I'm playing with friends. I can't cheese. Now, miss me with that shit, okay? Miss me with it.
In pro play, we've already made a number of fixes to address this issue. Are we happy with the state of bot lane? Well, we are happy that whole new.
I'm gonna have to mute new one right here, okay? Now, the bottom lane changes that occurred. How do I say this? ADCs actually got stronger with their item rework, okay? From the jump, their late game, the power spike that an ADC would get in late game with the new items is... it's a huge spike on the power spike they would get with the old ADC items, right? Especially because with the Infinity Edge, your crits can do a percentage of true damage. And you've got ADC players who don't really know how strong that is. You've got the community who keeps saying, oh, ADC and all the ADC memes, ADC and 2K, whatever. Like, look, ADC's got stronger. Now, granted, Rito did fuck up, okay? Rito fucked up. I'm gonna tell you where they fucked up. Rito fucked up in the first iteration of the ADC items they released because the items were overpriced. I mean, crit item. What's that? The brawler's gloves or something? Whatever they're called. That starting crit item, it cost 600 gold right after the patch. That was too much. They reverted that. It's 400 gold. Everyone's happy. You go play a game of ranked, you're probably gonna see 2 ADCs in bottom lane, okay? You're probably gonna see 2 ADCs. You're not gonna see a Katarina, although I love playing Kat in bot lane. You're not gonna see a Vladimir. You probably aren't gonna see a Swain anymore in solo queue. Doesn't happen. So yeah, bottom lane is already back to standard meta. There's just an option now to play some flavor shit if you want, which I quite appreciate. Which if you're any veteran player, you really appreciate that shit, right? Now, of course, there's some veteran players There's some veteran players. I'm a cutie pie. He's upset because I can't play ADC, even though he can play anything. Tyler One is upset because he can't play Draven, even though he's playing Quinn. Quinn honestly needs a rework. We'll get to her another day. Another day. But yeah, items got changed. Bottom lane opened up for everyone. Everyone's happy. Okay, well, anyone who's been playing the game for a while is happy.
Classes are seeing play bot lane. It was not our intention to get there in a way that made marksman non-viable. We know.
You see, they even know they fucked up on the first iteration of the crit items. Okay? Well, that's fine. That's fine. They corrected it in one patch. Okay? The very next patch, which happened next week, the following week. Okay? Because this mid-season, they do the quick fire patches, right? They fixed it. It was already done. People already had no reason to complain, and people still complained about this shit that was already fixed. Now research is telling you, hey, look, here's what happened.
Know we missed your expectations around the role, and we're committed to fixing these issues. Crit ADCs in particular were hit hard, as their power spikes got pushed back just as the meta shifted toward games being decided more quickly.
Now, ADC power spikes got pushed back because the items were more expensive. The items from their base design compared to the old items are stronger. Okay, they're much stronger. Like, if your ADC was a 1 in late game before the mid-season patches, it's now a 2. Okay, it's literally double the fucking power. The only problem was getting to that late game, but of course that's been changed again. The game's been slowed down, and tank junglers are coming back next patch. We already know this, so the game's gonna slow down even more. Okay, game pace is gonna slow down even more, and you'll probably find Rito looking for a good middle ground. You'll probably find them looking for a good middle ground on game length from that point, as soon as they figure out what to do with the tank junglers. Albeit, you do have some tank junglers that are seeing pro play. Sejuani is still getting played in Korea. You know, that's the world champion region. She's still getting played there. So, if the rest of the world thinks tanks are underpowered, the world champions of League of Legends don't seem to think so. It's just some food for thought.
Over the last few patches, we've been focused on restoring their viability. To date, we've shipped individual buffs to Trist, Jinx, Twitch, Varus, and Caitlyn. We've also buffed
Trist, Twitch. Trist needed a buff. Twitch probably didn't need a buff, but whatever. Rita loved buffing him. Caitlyn. No, Caitlyn was fine before any buffs. Like, Caitlyn was viable with the first iteration of the ADC item changes. So was Xayah, so was Lucian. And probably Corki. But no one plays Corki. He's just... Corki is gonna be... Corki's gonna be played at Worlds again. He generally makes every Worlds, just like Orianna. And he's sleeper OP right now. No one knows how busted he is. Keep it that way.
buffed crit items like Brawler's Gloves and Storm Razor.
Oh look, you see that? They're talking about the Brawler's Gloves. Brawler's Gloves that I fucking mentioned, right? They fucked up first iteration of the patch. 600 gold for, 10% crit? Y'all kidding me. But they fixed that, back to 400. We already mentioned this, let's move on.
And in 8.15, we're doing more work to shift their power up from late game to early and mid game. As we've said in the past, it is a goal for us to support more classes in more positions. But we know we can do a better job landing these changes in a less disruptive way.
Okay, look. The only way the changes could be quote-unquote less disruptive was if you did it during preseason. Doesn't make a fucking difference, mate, okay? Mid-season, you've got your mid-season break on the pro scene anyway. Balance will be rectified before shit gets back up. It was. Okay? Okay, don't be feeling sorry for Reckless because he doesn't know how to play a different type of champion. Don't do that. Don't do that. That nigga could have played Swain. He could have played Heimerdinger. He could have played Vladimir. He could have played a lot of things. Okay? So don't be saying none of that.
Our goal is not to change the game for change's sake. And if it feels that way to you, chances are it means we haven't done a good enough job with the changes themselves, how we release them, or how we communicated about them.
Okay. Now, when talking about change for change's sake, that has not been an occurrence in the game since the Season 3 jungle changes, which were seemingly received pretty well by people, okay? So you got your Season 3 jungle changes, they're received really well, and there was, what was that camp? The White camp. I think it was called the White. It was like a big fucking ghosty where, what was it, where Grump is. That was a needless change, but they did it anyway, and it was really well received. Okay, people harken back and say that's the best season, yada yada. Like, no. People forget, like, Season 3 had the whole League of Black Cleavers scenario, where you had to stack Black Cleavers or you didn't win. And no one really remembers that. It was such a short thing. That we don't see those types of fucks up. We don't see those types of fuck ups anymore from Rita, okay? Well, we did see one small iteration of that on the support healing items in terms of how things were stackable, but that's already been fixed, you know? So, who cares? And I was sitting in the game for like 6 months and no one fucking knew about it until everyone decided, hey, let's play Soraka and stack redemptions, you know? Then everyone thought it was busted, but it's the same old shit.
Them. We acknowledge that introducing this much change in the middle of the season over multiple patches wasn't a successful approach.
I disagree. Okay? There, I disagree with the guy. I think he's pandering to whatever he thinks the majority is right now. I disagree. The changes that were brought in mid-season were all brilliant. All of them were brilliant. I don't see any ADCs complaining about the items now, and they're stronger than they were before the items. You know? I'm just saying.
Many of you expressed frustration with this clearly, and I want to restate that for the remainder of the year, our plan is...
Okay. I actually gotta touch up on this. A lot of people expressed frustration at the mid-season changes this season, alright? Do you want to know why? Because a lot of those players are new to the game. They don't have as many fundamentals as the veterans, okay? As us veterans. Let me say us veterans, because I'm a fucking veteran. I've been playing since Season 2, motherfucker. They don't have the fundamentals mapped out like the veterans do. They don't have a wealth of champions to play like the veterans do, alright? And that's not to say they can't afford the champions. No, they just don't have a wealth of champions that they have the mechanics on to play. End of, or the knowledge to play. So, I'm not going to complain about these new changes because they flit from meta to meta, hoping to find where their champion pool fits in. And their champion pool is maybe 3 champions deep, being optimistic about that, right? Okay.
Is to reduce the amount of change overall. Please do keep sharing your thoughts around this topic with us. They really do influence the decisions we make. This week, we released an alpha game mode we're calling Nexus Blitz. With this mode, we're trying something different. Nexus Blitz...
I think we can end the video here, unless they've done something different. Unless they've talked about something different going forward. And here, it's the app and stats. And yeah, that's it. Well, let me talk about Nexus Blitz, real talk, okay? Nexus Blitz right here is Rito's attempt to make up for removing Dominion, and I'm fine with that. I would rather have Dominion back, but this is Nexus Blitz. It's got a shorter game time than Dominion, and the map, is it smaller? No, the map isn't smaller than Dominion, but it does have a shorter game time than Dominion, and yeah, it's a fun mode. you know? It's a fun mode. I like the mode because it is attempting to do what Dominion does, i.e. provide a environment where players can perhaps practice champions in a semi-competitive environment or just play a quick game where pretty much the main aim with playing a game is to just, I want to play a bit of this champion, so I'm going to go play a very short game of the champion. Now you can't do that with ARAM because that's just random. Are you gonna get the champion? Probably not. You can do it here. You could do it with Dominion. Dominion was truly the best because it also taught people how to prioritize objectives, right? And we can explain that another day. But Nexus Blitz, it's a good addition to the client. I do feel, however, could have just brought back Dominion and it would have been received twice as well. Anyway, that's the video. The app, I never use the app. The stats are great. The stats thing that they've now got in the client, it's amazing. You can compare with each ELO. It's like they got an OP. It's like they got your own personal op.gg on the motherfucking client now. Brilliant. And yeah, that's it. Rito are doing a good job. This champion, people think she's busted. She ain't really. She ain't really busted. Only thing that was busted was her W active, because it would give her those stupid bubbles that she can throw at people. That was busted. Most been nerfed now. Now the champion requires so much precision and shit. She's pretty much only got one damaging ability with her Q. The champion ain't a problem. People just don't like playing against it, which, each to their own. I mean, I don't like playing against Echo, but I love playing Echo, so each to their own. Matter of fact, there's one. Those people who really hate playing against Zoe, just play the champion. Just main the fucking champion. Like, the game of League of Legends will just open the fuck up to you. Just play the champion. If you hate it, you'll love the champion. Promise you.
So playing over Wi-Fi. We hope these changes are...
Oh, they made the Wi-Fi changes. No, that shit don't matter. And yeah, that's the video. Ain't nothing more.
Few patches before Worlds, which we've linked below in case you missed it. We've made some good progress on the technical improvements needed to launch Clash again, and we'll be testing...
Oh, they're trying Clash again. Yeah, I don't care. So, yep, that's the video. Anyone complaining about League of Legends in its current state, please get some perspective. This is not the worst it's been by a long shot. The game is in the best spot it's been ever right now. Ever. And I can get around to responding to Scara about there being more damage. Listen, there wasn't enough damage before the season, okay? People did not have agency. This dude, new one even said it himself. People didn't have agency. Now you got damage, you got some agency. Be happy. Be happy. Don't complain that, oh, there's too much damage. The only reason you complain that there's too much damage is because you're getting fucking worked by that damage. Anyway. Yeah, that's the video. Let's roll out.